You ready? You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, gays, and gays. This is the Real Pineapple. This is your humble host, Hunter, here. I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. Hope you're having a great holiday season. I've got a review for what could be a huge Oscar contender in Anora, which is written and directed by Sean Baker, who you know from writing and directing The Florida Project, Red Rocket, Tangerine, and now Anora. And this stars the incredibly talented Miley Madison, who you're going to know from Better Things, which, if you haven't seen Better Things, that's streaming on I think Hulu. That is well worth your time. It's a damn good show. Shout out, oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking now. Shout out to Pamela Adlon, who is fantastic in general and is great on that show. But you also know Madison from Scream. That would have been Scream 5. The Addams Family, All Souls, and Lady in the Lake recently. So she, in this film, she goes ahead and she plays Annie. But Annie goes ahead and she works at this high-end strip club over in New York. And one of the things I really like about this movie is how punchy the dialogue is and how very take no shit Annie is from jump. She's giving this guy... so I will say, too, the score in here... the cinematography in here. The music was done by Joseph Capaldo, and then the cinematography was done by Drew Daniels. Joseph, he... wow, looks like this is his debut. Holy shit, this is his debut? God damn. And then Drew Daniels has worked with Baker before on the aforementioned Red Rocket. Oh, he also did the cinematography for Waves. That's another great. Oh, and he did the cinematography for Swarm. Oh god, Swarm kicks ass. That makes a ton of sense actually. But yeah, shout out to Joseph Capalbo, because if this being his debut, holy shit, the music in here is fucking excellent. And really, the title sequence and like the opening credits really do a great job of setting that tone. Kind of this very kind of lo-fi, kind of club type sound. It really does enhance the film, and it really does enhance the visuals, which is what a good score should do. Furthermore, I will say too, the lighting. I love the use of like neon lights and the way that kind of almost engulfs you and kind of puts you in this trance. The opening sequence is a perfect example of that. So this film, we go ahead and we're following Annie, and she has her friends that she goes ahead, her colleagues she goes ahead and works with. I love that they establish right off the bat that there is someone who she just can't fucking stand, and in this case, that would be Diamond, who's played by Lindsay Normington, who you know from All Rise and The Idol, which actually the cinematographer actually worked on The Idol too, so I'm sure that might be how she got into this. But what I really dig about this movie is it's very Shakespearean. And while I'm not a big Shakespeare fan, if you are going to do kind of something Shakespearean, this is really how you do it. So Annie is going ahead and she's working one night. She goes ahead and she ends up meeting this guy who is just infatuated with her. I'm sure something that strippers have encountered quite often, given the profession. I don't know about y'all. I've actually never been to a strip club. I've really had no like desire to really go to one, to be honest. Why pay for someone to tease you and have you walk home sad? but she goes ahead and she meets Ivan, who's played by Mark. I'm gonna butcher the fuck out of this, but uh, Idol. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. But that guy. I really love their chemistry from jump. Ivan is a total, very much a Gen Zer. He's got his vape. He dresses like he just he dresses like he just goes into a store blindfold and just goes sure and just starts grabbing shit off the rack. But I'll be real, Ivan's vibe, just this total stoner who just wants to chill out and like have a good time. Who does that remind you of? I was like, yeah, actually, I could see myself vibing with Ivan for a bit. But what I found kind of beautiful about their relationship is that it's very transactional at first. He's looking to get turned on. Annie's very good at that. I mean, look at Mikey Madison. But there is this like camaraderie between the two of them where it feels like they really are enjoying each other's company. And I found that very sweet. I found that actually very endearing. And so he starts coming to the club more, and then actually goes, well, I've come here a couple times. Why don't you come to my house? And so she rightfully so, and this is a lesson for all y'all going to 2025. Know your fucking worth, and Annie knows her fucking worth, and so Ivan straight up goes like, I will pay you like 15 grand cash up front, be my girlfriend for the week. Which, I mean, got 15 grand for a week of work. I was like, girl, go ahead. Real quick, just to bounce to rewind a little bit. The dialogue in this movie is so witty and it's very quick. I did actually find myself rewinding a couple things because I went, wait, what the fuck they say? Or wait, did I hear that correctly? There's one dancer who brings up the fact that I was doing a dance for this guy and he said that I looked like his 18-year-old daughter, then bought 5 dances from me. And I was like, oh, fuck, that's creepy. And there are several lines in the movie that made me go, no, just like that. Like I was, oh God, it's the level of cringe on some of this shit is fantastic in the best way, in the way that it's truly intended. When Annie and Ivan are getting to know each other, I I was really happy because she asked him, like, what do you do? And he's dancing around it like a motherfucker. He's like, oh, I'm a really, really big drug dealer. And she kind of looks like, oh, okay. And he's like, no. But I'm like, oh, no, I'm kidding. No, I'm a really big gun dealer. And then she kind of like, you see her kind of go like, whoa, wait, what? And then he just starts laughing and goes like, oh my God, you're so easy. I'm fucking with you. It's like, what the fuck? And so you find out that he is his family has a lot of influence, and that his father Nikolai Zerov is like has his hands in all these different sorts of pies, all these different sorts of things that may or may not be legal, but it's interesting how upfront he is about, essentially being a nepo baby and just spending his parents' money. I kind of love that, honestly, and I kind of love how like very upfront and matter of fact he is about it. As I mentioned earlier, he tells her, 15K for the week, you be my girlfriend, and it's funny how she goes like, oh, 15K, like, that's what I'm worth. And without missing a beat, he goes, if I were you, I wouldn't have done it for less than 30. And it's like, okay, so he recognizes her worth. So, obviously you are waiting for the shoe inevitably to drop. But there is something kind of sweet about them just fucking around and enjoying each other's company. And, I kind of love that. I kind of love the fact that they are just both having fun and they're both just enjoying each other's company and smoking weed and enjoying the lights and going to shows and I don't know. I did find it I did find it actually rather sweet. Once they go ahead and end up at his house, you start seeing the house that he's living in. It's fucking wild. There's elevators, the fleet of cars that he has that he's not allowed to drive. I thought was absurd. Like, you see the amount of cars and you see the types of cars, you're like, God damn. There's there's this point where they're just smoking weed in this candy shop and they're getting frozen yogurt. Like, there's so many just total stoner moments that I was sitting there going, yes, this all works for me. Like good for y'all. But as I mentioned, of course, the other shoe does have to drop, and so Ivan's family finds out that he has married, in their words, a prostitute, and so his dad flips the fuck out. So now we're officially on a ticking clock in terms of the parents showing up and sort of ramifications that they will go ahead and bring. So without spoiling too much, that's really where the film makes that 180, and that's where things get more dire and get more intense. There is this amazing, and I truly mean amazing, sequence with a couple of Ivan's dad's henchmen who are very much Ivan's keepers. And it feels like, without outright telling you, it definitely feels like, while this in particular hasn't happened before, but it definitely feels like they've had to deal with his bullshit. Like, they even like flat out say that Ivan has done a lot of dumb shit in the past, and this is how they repay him. And yet, this is where the walls just everything just kind of falls apart. Ivan's dad sends these two people who work for him, goes ahead and sends them to the house, and what this sequence is, this whole scene about them showing up at the house, it is just this giant, I'd say maybe 10-15 minute sequence of Annie being tied up and kind of tortured, but it's done like a comedic way. And what this movie shows is that Annie is, while she might be a stripper and, you know, all of the preconceived notions that come with that, she does know her worth, and she knows how to scrap too. And that was probably the thing I loved about Annie the most, is that even though she's in way over her head in terms of like social class, as far as like these people being, you know, fucking multimillionaires, if not billionaires, she's not intimidated. She is at no point like quivering or like looking down. Like, all like her body mannerisms go ahead and dictate and go ahead and match what we've seen about her throughout the whole film, is that she knows her worth, and she like she's not gonna let anyone talk down to her, which I think is an incredibly important thing given the subject matter. And there's this point where they try to pin her down, and she bites the fuck out of this dude's neck, which was such a fucking funny sequence, to a point where she breaks this dude's nose too. Oh my gosh, it's I loved it. I love that whole sequence. So now it's all about them getting divorced and the ramifications of that. And again, without spoiling too much, this movie is hilarious. It's actually quite fucking sad near the end. I do think some people will kind of have, I don't want to say issues, but I think some people will want a little more from the ending. But honestly, I really like where it ends. Given what happens, I think it actually makes a lot of sense that it ends the way it does. But this is one of those movies where I was sitting there going, this is beautiful, kind of beautiful in how tragic it is. And Miley Madison, like I said, she's gorgeous in here. She is absolutely fucking stunning. But the strength that Annie gets to show is really cool. And the fact that, I know I keep saying this, but she knows her worth. And when she gets sad, your heart really breaks for her. It really breaks for her, because even though they made, admittedly, a very impulsive decision in terms of getting married, you can tell that she really does want to make it work, and that even if she's not in love with Ivan, she clearly does love Ivan. And it's not just about, the shit that he can provide. It's the fact that she clearly wants someone to love her on that level, and she clearly is a woman who is independent, but wants that. She wants that affection. She wants someone to be there for her. And I don't know. I find something very beautiful and very sad about that. And I really did find myself rooting for Annie. And I really just want her to be okay, honestly. So, I don't know, y'all. This will probably, and I say probably because I still got some shit I need to watch, but I just adored this movie. I thought this was so fucking well done. I will probably end up rewatching this just to kind of confirm my grade, but I'm looking at an A+ right now. It's just a hair under fan-fucking-tastic. It might get there on a rewatch, but I enjoyed this so much, and I thought the music was great. I thought the performances were great. I thought this was fucking hilarious. There is something. There's a point, I had no idea that Miley Madison could scream the way she does, and oh man, there is some there are some moments where she has to scream that I was just like, oh man, this is fantastic. Also, there are a couple really great transitions involving car door slams. I just love that transition. I'm seeing it more in film, and I just really like that. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is an A+ easily. This is on VOD now, so you can rent it. It might be in theaters still. So if it's playing your local theater, go check it out. If you're more comfortable at home, watch it at home. But this is something that y'all need to watch. If you have not seen this, please make a point to check out Anora. You will not be disappointed. But yeah, solid A+ for me, for Anora. So, speaking of Anora, have you seen it? What'd you think about it? Let me know in the comments. You can go ahead and follow the show on YouTube. Make sure you hit the bell so you get notifications for when I'm doing a live stream or when new reviews come out. You can go ahead and find us on YouTube at The Real Pineapple. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at jhunterrealpineapple. That's jhunter and then REEL and then pineapple. You can follow me on Blue Sky. I'm no longer on Twitter. I'm just on Blue Sky. But you can follow me on Blue Sky at realpineapple.bsky.social. That again is REEL pineapple. And you can go ahead and follow the show pretty much wherever you listen to podcasts: SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, TuneUp, and Samsung Podcasts, name a few, at The Real Pineapple. And you can go and follow the show on Twitch at twitch.tv/TheRealPineapple. Make sure you go ahead and you're following me so you know when I will be doing live streams and live interviews and gaming streams and all that fun stuff. But yeah, y'all, everyone, thank you so much for listening. We'll have more reviews coming out soon, including reviews for Nosferatu, Baby Girl, Sing Sing. I know there's other stuff, but those are ones I can think of off the top of my head. So yeah, lots of stuff coming up through the pipeline as we head towards the end of the year and get through the last kind of bit of Oscar buzz films in January. But everyone, thank you so much for listening. Stay safe, take care of each other, give someone a hug, give someone a compliment. We could all use more positivity. And never forget, as always, to keep it real.